There's a new scheme that has been launched by CSIR. There are not many resources available on the internet about it, and today's video would be about that. In today's video, we will see about what is CSIR Direct SRF scheme, what is the application process, how do you even prepare for the interview, how does the selection happen, what is the stipend, what is the money that you will get exactly per month, and is there HRA allowed for this? What is that one piece of advice for future applicants of CSIR Direct SRF? Today I have with me Ritik Mohanty, who is a research scholar. He is pursuing his PhD at Center of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, SOA, Bhubaneswar. His main area is physics. He works on semiconductors, development of hybrid energy materials. And the most important part which brings him as a guest for today's video is he is a CSIR Direct SRF fellow. Today he would be guiding us with all the process from start to finish of CSIR Direct SRF. Before I move on with the video, I would appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel, because this channel is a repository for all the things related to scholarships, fellowships, higher education, podcasts. We host a different guest and I want you to be a part of this community. तो हम वेट किसका कर रहे हैं? चलिए शुरू करते हैं. As I've introduced, Ritik Mohanty is a research scholar who is pursuing his PhD Center for Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, SOA Bhubaneswar. He is working on development of hybrid energy materials, supercapacitors, and self-powered electrochemical energy storage system. And what brings us together is that he is a fellow for the prestigious CSIR SRF Direct, which helps us to get fellowship in case of our PhD. So, hi Ritik, how are you? Welcome to my channel.
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you.
So, if you could introduce yourself in brief, so I have already introduced, but for my audience, from your side, if you want to introduce.
Okay. So, hello, I am Ritik Mandi. I'm currently working as a CSIR SRF Direct Fellow. Currently, I am on my fifth year of my final year of my PhD. As Atya mentioned, I work on the domain of supercapacitors, especially intersection of physics and electrochemistry and electronics. Currently, I am pursuing my PhD at Center for Nanoscience and Nanotechnology at Shiksha Anushandhan University.
If I could ask you about CSIR SRF Direct, this scheme has been recently started, right? Recently meaning 1 or 2 years, I think, before. So, what is CSIR SRF Direct? I want to know if it's available only in CSIR funded institutes or all institute fellows they can apply, and at what stage they can apply. At which stage of PhD they have to be in, or is it a postdoctoral fellowship? If you could tell more about this particular scheme.
So, adding more to this, actually, CSIR SRF Direct has been happening before a lot of years. Like in past years, they has been announcing the fellowship, but due to the COVID, there has been some break in the fellowship. But regularly, before 2 years, that is like 2 sessions, they are kind bit regular for the notification to admit the fellows. So, coming to the CSIR SRF Direct Fellowship, it is a direct fellowship offered to PhD students while they are in their of the PhD enrollment program. And also, it is important to note that it is not only valid for the CSIR funded institutes. Any UGC or AICT approved institution can be a part of it if the students or the scholars work fall in the 19 subjects category of the CSIR. So there is a 19 subject category mentioned in the CSIR website for CSIR Direct Fellowship. If your research interest falls between these 19 category, you can apply. Fellowship does not require any kind of NET or GATE written exam to qualify it. Your selection is purely based upon your entirely on your research work and your potential, and especially your publication and your proposal, you can say. Also, I would like to add more that if a person misses his chance, that is like to qualify NET or GATE exam, it is the best opportunity to get the fellowship from the CSIR, by the CSIR SRF Direct.
So it's good to see that there is a fellowship which is evaluating scholars completely based on research, because otherwise we require so many entrance exams to get into this kind of fellowship. At which stage of PhD should scholars apply for it?
So I will tell more about the application process and the eligibility and application window now. So ideally, you should your eligibility should be like you after completing your 2 years of your PhD work, that is registration, PhD registration, and you have one first author publication in peer-reviewed SCI journal, and minimum 55% in your master's degree. So in my case, I applied after my third year, and for required documents, you can say, yeah, you need a proposal that is in between self-explainable proposal in 1,000 words, and your published papers details, one recommendation from your guide, and one testimonial from your guide. And also apart from this, you need some your basic mark sheet like master's mark sheet, birth certificate. That is all that stuff documents you can.
Basic documents.
Yeah. And also you go to the CSIR EMR portal and you can apply there. The complete process is online.
Let's say a scholar who has joined, like usually for any scholarship, usual scholarship or fellowship, the duration is 5 years. Will you get more 5 years, or how would that be? What is the duration of this fellowship?
Okay. Coming to the duration, the total duration fellowship is 3 years. Usually they give 2 + 1 year. That is 2 years of fellowship they have given to you first, and after then you can apply for 1 year of extension. But usually the fellowship is for 2 + 1 years.
Could you tell us more about the interview process? Where is the interview? If I fill the application today, after how long will I get the intimation that I have been called for the interview?
Okay. I would like to say application window, I can say in brief. So in my case, I applied in like May 2023, and the interview call was on January mid, and the interview was on February. So they usually give 10 to 15 days for your interview preparation there and your stuff for itinerary, booking details, that thing. And in our case, the result was declared on March 2024, and the
Almost like
yeah.
1 year, more than 8 months.
Yeah, 1 year more than 8 months, and the fellowship
Yeah, that.
started was on May. So
So
you can say that
where
is
are
one.
these interviews held?
The interview was held on the CSR HRDC campus, New Delhi. So usually, in previously they usually call the CSR SRF and RA application together in a one day. But this year, due to the large number of application, they are taking slots like 25 people at one day, next another 25 people in the next day. And coming to the interview process, the panel, I can say there are 6 to 7 people in the panel, that is interview panel. The interview lasts upon 25 to 30 minutes. The panel has 5 to 6 experts. In my case, from ranging from senior scientists who are there, and also some young experts who are there. Coming to the discussion, like what they have asked me to give my introduction, self introduction, why I have chosen the particular research interest, and especially the major question was on my proposal and publication, and along with some core scientific concepts. So they usually actually to know how the fellow is know about aware about his domain or recent research, what has been happening in his or her area. Also application of future work, you have to mention the applications and the future work of your
How should one prepare for it?
Okay, preparation. So I would like to add more one thing. The panel was actually very interested about how you defend your data and understand the mechanism. So that's the major catch. They were not curious about that what you have done, how much work you have done. They actually want to know how you well know your core concepts, how you well know your experimental designs, how you well know your data, what is the future scope. That's kind of thing, and also some scientific core concept you must be aware of.
Fundamentals.
So, yeah, purely fundamental and research aptitude. Basically they were very curious about these things. So coming to the preparation tip, I must say know every aspects of your work. Like if you are a material scientist, or you have to know from the basic experimental design, materials and its characterization, go through the how and why this is happening. Behind every step of your research, you must know why this is happening and how this is happening. I think say this is a major points you have to consider for going to the panel. I must say, if you are confident and well prepared, the panel is encouraging. They actually also they usually ask to go to the whiteboard to draw some diagrams. Like if you are from chemistry, they can draw. They can go and ask you to draw the structures. If you are from biology, they can ask you to go to draw the cycles and other things, that kind of stuff. Basically, you have to be dealing with your own publication, own profile, own research. They will not ask you anything that falls outside of your domain. So if you are well enough aware of your domain or scientific area, so the interview will be good.
Those are really good tips, because for someone who is handling such a panel, then these tips would be really beneficial. So Ritik, what I want to ask is, if today I finish my interview, after that, what are the next steps? What we should do after answering the interview?
So when your interview was over, so after, like, you can say after 1 month or 2 months, you will roughly you will get to know your results. Basically, for the 19 subjects, they at a one time they will declare the results. You have to wait after after when the finishing of your 19 interview subjects, like all the interviews are over. Then after 1 month, you will get the result. One day they will release the result in the website, like in CSR EMR website. After like 1 year, 1 week of duration, you will get the award letter. In the award letter, all the details of yours and CSIR and fellowship details are mentioned. Like, this fellow is getting this much of fellowship for this tenure from this day to this day. After getting the award letter, there are some joining forms will be on the website. You have to download that joining forms of your website, and you have to give the bank details and supervisor's declaration, and register or head of the institution signs on that particular form, and you have to submit it in the CSIR fellow AMS portal. So there are two portals: fellow AMS portal of the CSIR, AMS portal of CSIR. These two
Okay.
portals and new FMS portal. Also another portal is new FMS portal is there. So you have to submit and create ID on the FMS portal. Then it will be forwarded to the AMS portal for Delhi. That means monthly submission of your attendance. Each month you have to validate your attendance sheet. Then the supervisor will also validate it by online logging into the fellow MS portal. And after the supervisor's validation, your institution will also verify the attendance. And once you have submitted the attendance, the fellowship will be credited in 1 to 2 weeks. So the system is actually quite particular and smooth, because all the process happening is online. So the system is quite smooth.
What is the exact on which date of the month you get? Do you get it regularly every monthly or every 6 months? Tell us more about that. Does it have HRA contingency? What is the structure of this kind?
So coming to the fellowship, the stipend is usually 42,000 per month, and also the HRA is there. As you are residing outside of your university, you will get the HRA. So here in my case, it's a Y class city, so it is a 16% HRA. So usually I get around 6,720. So roughly it will be around, the fellowship will be 48,720 per month. Coming to the contingency, there has been a contingency of 20,000 per year you can spend on your research related stuff. So the annual contingency grant is there. So when you are submitting your attendance, and then it is approved by your guide, and then after your guide's approval, then it is approved by your university. So it is like a 3-step process, and then the CSR EMR also approved, and amount is directly credited to your bank account. So usually in my case, it is directly coming to my account like the second and third week of the month. All provided, all submission are in place. That is, all your attendance and your all the submission details are correct. So you will get your attendance, you get your fellowship in like second or third week of your of the month. And also it is coming regularly. That means if you are submitting your attendance regularly, the fellowship will be come to your account regularly. My attendance procedures will be cleared by like 10th of the month, and like 18th, by 18th I will get the fellowship.
Students who are staying in hostel, do they get HRA?
They did not get the HRA. Yeah, you have to submit a declaration form
Yeah. This
that you are residing outside of the campus. So that's why you are getting the HRA. So if you are staying inside the campus,
guidance for HRA. So I want to know that whenever CSIR Direct scheme is floated, it is floated for two kind of posts. One is for research scholars and one is for RA. So if you could describe in brief about both of these.
Coming to the SRF, in the duration of your PhD, you can apply for Senior Research Fellowship Direct, that is SRF Direct. RA, you have to either be awarded with your PhD degree. You have just submitted your PhD degree, you can apply for RA. For RA, you need to complete your PhD. Either you must be submitted your thesis, or you have just awarded. It is just like a postdoctoral fellowship. But if you have submitted your thesis and you have the submission, like authorization letter that this fellow has been submitted, you can apply.
So that's what I wanted to ask. Like RA is
Yeah.
same as postdoc or is
Postdoc,
it
yeah.
different?
In the RA, they have 3 years of fellowship, which can be extended like 1 year, then 1 year, then 1 year.
Yeah, based on review, they will extend.
Yeah. Based on the review,
So that was a really good piece of information, Ritik. If you could advise one thing, what is your advice for those who are thinking of applying for CSIR SRF Direct?
If you have a strong publication and you can confidently explain your research and its significance and you have the research significance, then go for it. As I have past already mentioned, it's not about how much work you have done, it's about how well you understand your data and your topic and domain and how well you're presented. So adding more to this, I can say always be honest with your data, stay consistent with your research. That's the major key point for getting any kind of fellowship, not this SRF Direct. Build that kind of a research CV, research profile or CV, and so that you can go for the go to get to the milestone of this kind of fellowship. And also having if you have patents and any kind of extra papers or high impact work, so that will be addition to this fellowship.
So thank you so much for joining with me, Ajay. I think this was a really wonderful session, which was much required because there are hardly any videos on this CSIR Direct SRF. So thank you so much, and it was a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you, Atya. Thank you, Atya, for also giving me the platform to share my experience and spread awareness about this kind of fellowship. I hope you have enjoyed today's video.
If you want me to do a podcast on the topic of your choice, I want you to drop it below. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye bye.